Mic check, mic check, mic check. Yes, I'm here. Had a little technical difficulties. We live right now. We live right now. I had a little technical difficulties. So, can you hear me? Is anyone in the chat? I'm trying to figure out how to operate this right now at the moment. Hold up. Let me see. Mic check, mic check. Okay. Coming in loud and clear. So, I got online today for one because it's the first time I'm streaming from Dirty Falcon Podcast. So right now I had a topic I wanted to talk about with you. Will Jeff Ulbrich be the saving grace to our defense? Now, it's a lot of things that I put inside of this topic that I'm speaking on today about Jeff Ulbrich because Jeff Ulbrich wasn't my first pick for the defensive coordinator, truthfully. So I just wanted to do a little deep dive into Jeff Ulbrich because I just want to know, have you really liked what you've seen from our defense? Has is Jeff Ulbrich showing you a little bit of what you want to see? Just a few topics that was on my mind and I was thinking about because one topic that I really seen that I liked during uh the two games we watched during the preseason is it seems like our defense is hungry again. And for that, I think we may have found a hidden gem with Jeff Ulbrich because if you really think about it, with Jeff Ulbrich, right, a lot of people tie him to Salah. So they saying that Jeff, even though Jeff Ulbrich was a DC, he really wasn't still calling the defensive plays. So in my mind, you have a DC that's hungry to prove himself. Now, true indeed, I did want Martindale or Wilkes just because of the years of experience and both of their defenses are aggressive. So when I talk about Jeff Ulbrich, I can actually see why the Falcons got him for their defense. And I can actually see why the team likes him. They bought into his defensive scheme. He's taking the thinking out of the game. So since he's taking the thinking out of the game, it's made it a lot more friendly to the players. So when we look at Jeff Ulbrich, that lets you know that the players have bought into his scheme. Now, a lot. I think the fan base is half and half on Jeff Ulbrich. To be honest, I don't think that everybody is bought into the defensive scheme. Yes, they like what they see, but they want to see the starters do it. They want to see what it's going to look like on game day. But I see glimpses of it in the preseason. This defense is going to be very, very, very aggressive, you know, and the reason why that's why I want to talk about Jeff Ulbrich, because just from me, what's going on, Winston? Oh yeah, can you hear me down there, Winston? Yeah, but as I was saying, got my boy Winston Thornton in the house. But getting back to what I was saying about Jeff Ulbrich, just from my opinion of Ulbrich, even though, like I said, I want Martindale or Wilkes, the thing that I seen, I'm gonna be honest, that made me put all my trust in Jeff Ulbrich was his first interview. And I know it might sound crazy to you, but if you go back and watch that first interview, the look in his eyes told you that's a man with something to prove. This man in his first interview is telling you exactly what he want players to do. He want to move players around. He want to do this. He want to do that. He needs someone for this position. You listening to a coach that actually coaches and that actually played the game, so he know how he want his pieces. So the reason why I want to touch on Jeff Ulbrich is because you have people that say, well, it was really Salah calling the defensive plays, even though Jeff Ulbrich was the DC, sort of like an Arthur Smith and Dave Ragone type of situation. You see what I'm saying? So I think, like he said, told you in his first, in one of his, like I think it was like his third interview, he gonna marry Raheem defense, the scheme Raheem like to run, with the scheme that he's created from the other teams that he's came from. Appreciate it, Winston. Appreciate it. Yo, we live. And with Jeff Ulbrich, Winston, one thing I'm looking at, if you go back and watch Jeff Ulbrich interviews, all of them, that's a man with hunger in his eyes to prove himself, Winston. Like for real, that's a man with intent and integrity and character. Shit, the money can't buy. You see what I'm saying? So, so it's like when you look at Jeff Ulbrich, you can see that the team has bought into it. In my opinion, I think it's starting to leak over into the offense as well. The offense done got a lot more scrappier. I feel like our offensive line ain't used to playing the type of defense that Jeff Ulbrich is throwing at them, because, as we know, what in the world, Big Low? What's going on? Got my boy Winston Thornton in the house and Big Low Country Sports, man. Nothing much, man. Up here talking about Jeff Ulbrich, because I wasn't fully bought into him at first, because I wanted Wilkes and Martindale, as I stated. So I really wanted to do a deep dive in instead of doing a deep dive in the players, I wanted to do a deep dive into Jeff Ulbrich, because I wasn't a fan of him. I just wanted to see a little bit more from him with other teams, because just like people were saying, who's really calling the Jets defense, Salah or Ulbrich? Because both of them are great defensive minds, but it did leave a lot of people like, who's really calling that defense up there? So, like I told him, with Jeff Ulbrich, his first interview, I seen hunger in his eyes. Man, that's ready to prove that his defense is just as good as everybody else's. So that's the interview that I put my trust in him, because I seen it in his body language. I seen it in his face. I seen it in just how he spoke about what position he want, who he want to put in that position, how they need to play, how they need to move, how they make adjustments. That's a coach and a person that's played the game. So slowly I started building a lot more respect for Ulbrich. I understand the bullshit situation his son put him through. So now you really done put his son done made him really got to put belt to ass this year. For real. Yes, he want to put on for the city. Like I seen it at Low Big Low. His very first interview, I gave him all my trust. I ain't have to see nothing else because I know what a man look like when he hungry. You know what a man look like when he feel like he bottom of the barrel. Like he didn't even do a lot of talking for real. And the talking that he did was coaching. He's telling you positions before we even draft. He's telling you what he wants to do. I knew from the interview they were finna get rid of Grady Jerry. I knew from what he said in that interview that he finna get rid of Grady Jerry. When he laughed, he almost spit out his drink. Go back and watch the video when one of the reporters was like, what the reporter said, yeah, Coach Ross said sacks don't matter. And he almost spit out his drink laughing. And he started talking about, yeah, Grady, da 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 da. But the way he was saying it was like, yeah, Grady gonna have to compete because you gotta think, below, think about them defensive players he had up there on the Jets. He know who can play and who can't play for real. And it ain't that you can't play, it's just that the style defense he's gonna run, the style defense he wants to run. It was a Falcon interview before I think it was the first one, Low. I think that was the first. That was the first interview when he first got here with the Falcons. This was before the draft, for his son did that fuck shit. This was the first interview he did with the media when we got him, and he was talking about the pass rush, and he said, "Yeah, Grady, da 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 da," but it sounded like some bullshit for real. What going on, Nando? Shit, man, up here giving some love to Jeff Ulbrich, just discussing this defense from a coaching perspective. You know what I'm saying? But he said something and it just sounded like some, you know how somebody be low, you know how somebody, you just know somebody telling you some bullshit. And it just sounded like bullshit. It wasn't even really what he said. It's the energy he said it with. Like, yeah, Gray gonna have to compete, which I understand because look who he up there on that defensive line really with. He with them young bulls up there. One thing you can say, whether it was him or Salah calling them plays, as far as the players, he's seeing how to draft from Salah. And I get that and I understand that because one thing that they did was bring in the players. Salah brought in real players. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I was looking at. So you got to think he was in the draft. He said he never been in the draft room in one of his interviews. He said he never been in the draft room at all. So then when he get let in the draft room, his son do that bullshit, that fuckery. So now he got another camel on hump on his back that he got to prove some shit this season. He got to try to wipe that shit from y'all memory. Cause everybody know it was some fuck shit. I don't really think he had nothing to do with that shit. There ain't no man finna risk this type of position for no fucking prank call from his son. Nobody's doing that with that type of money. We ain't talking about high school coach money. We talking about NFL money. Nobody's fucking up the bag like that. Not for real. I know he wanted to kill his son because I'd have wanted to kill mine. But it's just like I feel like this defensive mind frame has leaked into our offense to a lot of the degree. That's why you seeing more fights. Falcons ain't never really had this many fights for real in the preseason. Offense and defense fight. So I think what Jeff Ulbrich putting in the sprinkling on with the seasoning, as you would say, and pouring his sauce into it, I think they really have bought into it, and that's just real. And he got so much to prove. He just do in his mind as a man. When it after his son did that for shit, not only did he have to prove that he had to be here because of the type of people we interview. Remember, we interviewed the Bengals defensive coordinator. It was a lot of people that wanted the Bengals defensive coordinator in the Falcons camp. You see what I'm saying? Wasn't nobody really thinking Jeff Ulbrich. Not because we don't think he ain't good, but we wanted somebody with a lot more experience. But with Jeff Ulbrich, he like Big Low said he wanted to put on for the city. But in the same token, a lot of people don't understand. I'm not really mad at him and Raheem right now. I'm glad they left and came back. We don't know what the fuck they learned for real. You be a fool to go off to other teams and not learn shit. And I can see that's what I'm saying. Winston, ain't nobody thinking about it no more because prank calls happen every draft. So now he really gets his chance to show you. That's a man with hunger in his eyes. He wants to show the world that his defensive scheme can manage. And I like his defensive scheme because if you think about it, the one word, damn, what's that word that Dan Quinn used? Oh yeah. The one thing he hasn't said that I love is that bend and break shit. I don't want to hear that shit. We gonna be aggressive. He said we gonna be. Oh yeah, Kerry. I made it. You know, I'm trying to figure out how to balance the podcasting with the music because music is sort of demanding on certain levels. So I'm trying to figure out. Plus, I also make money, so I'm just trying to figure out how to balance all three out. So I picked today since I just cleared my schedule and said we finna do this today because I really want to talk about Jeff Ulbrich. I don't really want to talk per se about the players. I want to talk about the coach because to me, the players are fine. The players were fine last year. It was Jimmy Lake Lanier, as Big Low called him. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm gonna continuously say, Jeff Ulbrich was not my first pick. Wilkes and Martindale was because I wanted more experience. But I got to honestly say I'm shocked. I'm very surprised. I'm shaking my head like, okay, I see what's really going on out here. He got our defense hunting. That's why I don't even like saying rise up anymore. Because he got our offense hunting. Our quarterback got into a fight. Not saying that that's a good thing, but I'm just saying his philosophy has leaked into the offense. Now you got an offense that want to be dogs. That's why our O-line looking shook a little bit because they not used to having defensive schemes like this in their face. Ulbrich not playing. They said the first play out of the first day of camp, Ulbrich came with a blitz and it threw Michael Penix off because I don't think they were supposed to be blitzing. But you know what Jeff Ulbrich said? You finna get this blitz today. That's what you want. That's unexpected. That's called coaching. You come with a blitz the first play. They thinking you gonna sit in cover 2 or cover 3, or maybe sit in some form of, keeping the box loaded. But you coming with a blitz the first day, yes, Kerry, that's what I'm talking about. I think Dorless finna shine because if you remember, Nate Ollie said he been watching Dorless when he was with Texas. When Nate Ollie played in Texas, he said he been watching Dorless since then. you know, and that's what I'm saying, be low pressure bust pipes. Like, I really think that this offense done took on the form of mentally of the defense as well. That's why I want to talk about Jeff Ulbrich because I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. Like, I was the first firm believer. Now, when we got Jeff Ulbrich, what I did say was, I know our linebackers will be playing out their mind, because one thing Jeff Ulbrich had during that Super Bowl run was our linebackers playing out their mind. Deion Jones went the same when Ulbrich left. And that's what I'm saying, Winston. He got him out. He got him out there disciplined. He got it where the old line don't even know what's going on, because they used to Jimmy Lake. They used to the soft cover defenses, because if you think about it, most of our coaches been running that soft cover shell defense. You know what I'm saying? Or a variation of cover three. And they not used to cover three being aggressive or having to play. We didn't have the players. We don't got no excuse on defense. We got over the amount of players that we truthfully need. It's gonna hurt to cut some of them. Even though I'm for the logo, it's gonna hurt to cut some of the people that we finna cut. I'm gonna be real honest with you. That's what I'm saying, Carrie, Miss Carrie. He had Nate Ali said, I want my defense in a dark space, in a dark room. When he said that, I ain't I ain't played professional football, but I know about that dark room just because of things out my past life. I know that dark room can be a very, very, very dangerous place mentally if you don't know per se how to control the dark room. So if he teach them what's going on, A1. So if he teach them how to control the dark space and visually make it tunnel vision to their assignment, man, this defense gonna be dangerous, because now you taking the thinking out the game. I don't have to think, I just react. I'm in a dark space. As long as I got my gap, that's all that matters. As long as I got my gap, that's all that matters. Because now I don't have to think about the movements that I make. Our cut's gonna be real tough this year. Y'all, we gonna hate to see some of these players get picked up by other teams. I'm gonna be honest. Because we actually, this the first time that I can honestly say all the way down to our undrafted free agents, we actually got players. And Jeff Ulbrich's philosophy has leaked into all the way down to the undrafted free agents. That's what I'm saying, Winston, right there. We used to let anybody make the team. Folks come down here on their last leg and sign their contract and get millions of dollars to go out there and do absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. What's going on, Schmitty? Up here, man. We just up here talking to little Jeff Ulbrich, man. Just I didn't want to focus on the players. Everybody been focusing on the players, because see, at this point and level of the game, hold on, y'all. The mail truck coming by. Hold on, 2 seconds. At this point in the game, it's not, the players are not my concern no more. The players weren't really my concern last year, for real. We just gonna leave that where it's at though. I'm more so looking at the coaching. I want to see the coaching. Appreciate it, Big Low. Appreciate it. We go. Like I want to give Jeff Ulbrich a few flowers. I ain't gonna give them all of them, but I want to give him a few, because I see how his philosophy just has changed our team as a whole. Like I said, I'm gonna say it again. I ain't gonna say I'm happy about our quarterback fighting, but I know where that mentality came from. That came from our defense. That came from the defensive end of the ball. Like Drake said, I just bled red blood for the Falcons. Like that mentality, and Drake was already a dog anyway. So now you have an Ulbrich philosophy that not only has the defense bought in, your offense done bought into that philosophy. That's why you see the offense so aggressive. Offense aggressive right now. Your quarterback aggressive right now. He said what he said. I'm from Tampa, Florida. That's fine, but let's not make that a habit. You know what I'm saying? But I get it because even he went and see this how I know people that it's more, it's deeper than what you think. I'm finna show you what I mean. Your quarterback went into a dark room when he got in that fight. That's why he don't remember nothing. Who been preaching dark room? Nate Ali. Nate Ali been preaching that dark room. That's what I mean about the dark room. You got to know how to control that dark room because that dark space different. You see what I'm saying? You got to know how to bend and shape that dark space room to make it fit you because it'll drive you crazy. Being in that dark room, I've been in there a couple of times in my life. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that dark room. And that's why he lost it. That's why he don't remember nothing because your quarterback was inside of the dark room that Nate Ali been preaching about. That's how I know it leaked into the offense. That's why I said the me Carey, I think they want him to make the roster. I think him being hurt just may have slightly messed that up, but I think they want him on the roster because you seen that video when that they had of Jesse Bates talking to him at training camp when he said they know you can play, just stay in your book. I think it was more the mental aspect of the playbook. That's what I really think it was, just the mental aspect of the playbook. And I really think this defense gonna be scary, man. This defense, that dark room ain't no joke, big up below. That dark room ain't no joke, man. Like when your quarterback went into the dark space. And that's what I'm saying about what Nate Ali, Jeff Ulbrich, that whole defensive coaching staff is preaching dark room, all the way from Jeff Ulbrich to Nate Ali. But somehow it leaked into your offense. So with it leaking into your offense, now your offense full of dogs too. Now your offense, because even though if you really notice, it's like you can see the transformation that's that's sort of happening with this team for real. See, that's what I'm talking about. Below you to that last Krispy Kreme, man. Let me tell you how deep that dark space room is. You been at work all day long, right? You know you left a certain plate of food in the refrigerator. You know you left a certain plate of food in the refrigerator with a certain drink. That in your mind shouldn't nobody touch you at work. You come home, all of it's gone, ate up. That dark room. So when your quarterback get on the stand at the media thing and say, "Man, I don't even know where my mind was. I was in a dark place. I don't know who that person was." That was the dreadhead you. That was the dark space you. You know what I'm saying? You was in that void. Like, yeah, you gotta learn how to control that void. You can't boy, that's what I'm talking about. And they ate it all the way down to your banana pudding, big low. I'm talking about all the way down to the banana pudding. I was like, boy, you could at least left me the banana pudding. At least that much. And that's what I'm saying about this team. You got the whole team going into the dark space when it was really only supposed to be the defensive line going into the dark space. So that's why I said the defensive scheme and philosophy has melted into your offense. So it's like, man, that energy, Jeff Ulbrich, man, I'm gonna be honest, and it started from Brick. If you really, really sit and think about it, a lot of people, may don't feel the way I feel, but I still to this day stand on that Jeff Ulbrich had way more influence in that draft room and on them draft boards than any of us think. Because one thing he said that he learned how to do from see, that's what I'm talking about, Carrie. That banana pudding. I mean, I eat it with or without the bananas, but I really like to eat it without the bananas because I like to leave it in the refrigerator, let it get dead cold, and go get me some of that Talentini Madagascar vanilla bean. Oh man, it'd be heaven. But look, I'm just talking some big back talk right now. That's just heaven. So when you come home and that's gone from a long day of work and that's all you really wanted, you didn't even want to eat dinner. You just wanted to enjoy your banana pudding and your ice cream and you couldn't enjoy it. Yeah, that's that dark room. And the whole team has bought into that dark room. That's why I had to come give Jeff Ulbrich a little bit of flowers because when every person we draft, he knew exact. See, this is why I say that I think he had way more influence than we think. Every single person we draft, he knew exactly how he wanted to use him in his defense. See, that's what I'm saying. You think in dark place right now. See, that's what I'm saying. The dark room. You got your quarterback in a dark room and in a dark space right now. He said, I don't know who that was. I'm going to try not to be that person no more. He didn't even tell you he wasn't going to be that person no more. He said he going to try not to be that person no more. He don't know who that was. He had no clue. You know why? Because he was in that dark space. He was in that void, like Winston said. Bigelow said he was in that dark space. And that's very, 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 very dangerous for a team. See, a lot of people not gonna understand it because they looking at it from an outer shell instead of doing just a deep dive into what people say. Because I'm a type person, I read body language too more than words of how this person say something. That's how I knew that about Grady. I knew he was out of here. I know what Ulbrich want. Y'all know what Ulbrich want. Don't act like y'all don't know who that jet front seven is up there. You know the kind of players he want. Not a knock on Grady, but if this was young Grady, yes, all day. But with the way he wanted to change the aggressiveness and the style of play, and I don't think Grady wanted to wait on that any longer either. I think he just wanted because that happened too fast. But I have to give Miss Flowers because from what I've seen in these two preseasons, if you got your rookies playing like this, you got to know the first team hungry. You got to know the first team is hungry. And I think Jeff Ulbrich cooking over there. I think he cooking up some. Then we barely see this one person I love. The one that's always behind the scenes, Jerry Gray. Because you don't even talk about him for real, for real. So you got all these great minds from the secondary to the linebacker to the D line. You got three great minds plus the passing game coordinator and everybody else for the defense that I think the offense understands if we put up points this year, our defense can hold us down. Yeah, I'm sad he left, but I knew he was finna leave. What Jeff Ulbrich went, it's just you got to go back and watch his first interview when he first got here, his first full media interview. and listen to how he said what he said about, yeah, Grady a good person and we gonna try to do this with Grady. It just sounded like some bullshit. I'm just gonna be honest. I understand the camaraderie because it's Grady, because I didn't want to see Grady go. But I just knew it's just when you look at that, regardless of what you want to say about the Jets defense has never been the problem over the last 5 to 6 years. The defense has not been the problem. And with him being there with Salah, he's seen how to draft. So that's why I said I think he had a lot more input in these drafts than people think. Because if you think about what he said about Billy Bowman, I think what I'm basically saying is the first 2 picks, that was Terry and Rock. Straight Terry and Rock. From Xavier Watts on down, that was more so like that was Terry Rock and Ulbrich. From the Xavier Watts and Billy Bowman was more so Jerry Gray and Ulbrich and Terry per se. But every time they picked somebody, that man told you exactly what he was going to do. He told you exactly what he was going to do to utilize that player in the position. He knew, yeah, Billy Bowman gonna play nickel, and we're gonna have him do a couple of things like this, and we're gonna have him do a couple of things like that. Oh yeah, we got Jalen Walker. Jalen Walker gonna play the edge, but then we gonna, bring him in and season the sauce up and matriculate some things from the linebacker position. You see what I'm saying? He knew exactly where he wanted to put. Yeah, we're gonna take X. We're gonna put X next to Jesse Bates. They already been talking. They good. You see what I'm saying? He knew exactly where he wanted to put every player. And that's just, hold on, y'all. I'm trying to keep up with the comments as well. That's what I'm saying, A1. They got, that's what Ulbrich learned from Salah. Because think about it, Ulbrich said that was his first time ever in the draft room. So Salah went and got to work, and Jeff coached him up. So he know what kind of players he wanted. And I'm not saying Grady wouldn't have foot the bill when he was younger, but the fact that Grady was older and coming off that injury, it was just, be honest, they just wanted to rebuild, and I can't be mad at them for it. Am I sad that he left? Yeah, but I understand that you really can't do. They wanted to do it for a rebuild. On your mother next, believe it or not. Think on your mother and Kentavia Street ain't next. Watch what I tell you. Wait till some of them young boys. I'm gonna tell you when Onyemata really gonna be next after this next draft. Regardless of the season, they're going to get a detail, a big boy. I promise you, they're going to get a big boy. That'll be the. I'm talking about a real big boy that can move though. That'll take. They already got it with Rook and Dorless for real, but once they go in that next draft and go get them a big boy like we want, the 314 pound, 335 pound big boy. I think they got that plan for the next draft. It's gonna be a real big DT, and I ain't saying it's gonna be the first round, but they gonna go get them a DT, and then all your mother out the door. I mean, and that's just being real, and that's why I want to give Ulbrich his flowers, because Ulbrich, when you name me one time you seen Jimmy Lake out there on the field with the players playing and on the sledge and all that. Tell me when you seen Jimmy Lake out there. I wait. That's a coach who done played, and he has a different connection with players. So that was just a few things I want to, speak on with this Jeff Ulbrich thing, because I think our defense has really just set the tone for this whole team this year. I really think that the offense understands that now we finally got a defense. And that's just real. I really just feel that way. I feel like everybody's bought in. I feel like the coaching squad bought in. I feel like the team bought in. I feel like the players bought in. Even when they just brought in Henderson, he's already bought in. He said it's cornerback friendly. They don't tell me to just go out there and play. That's what I'm saying. It matters. Because even think about what Henderson just said in his interview. They not just asking me. Now this crazy. They not just asking me to go out there and play. They putting me in positions to win. So other teams have just been like, yeah, you just go out there and just do what you do. Like, damn, that's a game plan. But I guess they weren't looking for him to have that kind of impact or something. I'm not sure, but that's crazy. He come here and tell you that it's cornerback friendly in this scheme because he don't ask you to do a lot of thinking. And I've heard a lot of the players saying that. That's what I'm saying. A1, we getting a dancing bell, we getting a kung fu panda. Once we get that kung fu panda in that draft, I am out of here. He already slick out of here with Dorless and Root, but we still sort of slender right there. And that's just real. And I mean, and I know I've been a little long-winded about it, but I see the vision from a coaching standpoint. I see how that dark room done took over the whole team. Now I'm gonna tell you something, and I don't want y'all to laugh, but it's only one person I hope going to that dark room for real this year, and that's Coach Raheem Morris, our head coach with them timeouts. I need him to go in the dark room this year with his coaching style. I need him to really know what he doing. I need coach. Hey boy, look, I need Coach Ra in the dark room too. He the only one I think ain't in the dark room right now. I need him to go on step in that dark room too. For real, for real. Everybody else in the dark room but him. He may be in this dark room though, because that interview he had with Ledbetter, he may be in his dark space too. I don't know. I don't know. He out here trying to what you call it. He say he ready to put on for the city. Berto, I'm gonna be real honest with you. That name you just put in the chat, I believe he in his dark space too. Kyle Pitts, I believe we really finna see some when you have the one of the Atlanta Falcons podcast repost what Big Low said about Kyle Pitts gonna be a monster. I really honestly believe that because I really think that's who Penix wanted as his security blanket. Like Cam told him, you got to be my security blanket. But all in that time now, I just really think that Jeff Ulbrich, deserves a few flowers, man. Just a few of them. Pitts definitely incoming, Berto. And I ain't want to make this live. I ain't mean to even make it this long winded, but I just think right now I have to give Ulbrich a few flowers. Just a few. I thought I should. I ain't giving him the whole bouquet of flowers because, we ain't there yet. But I could definitely give him a couple of flowers out of that whole flower basket because I really see the change and the energy that he's put in this team just by his philosophy. And I think that's why Raheem got that smile on his face like that, because I think he see the dangerous coming. Like we really finna be dangerous this year. And I hope teams not coming out here thinking they finna play them same soft cover 3 shell Falcons, because that's not what's going on here. I don't think you're gonna see too much of a soft shell. I think everybody gonna want to be explosive from the defense to the offense. So that's why I say I just wanted to give Jeff Ulbrich couple of my flowers. I mean, yeah, a couple of flowers from me. Now that miscarriage is real concerning for me. That Caleb McGarry, because I didn't know Storm Norton was hurt too. That's when it got scary for me. That little bit right there. They ain't gave an update yet, and being carted off the field is never good. So I'm praying for the best, but I'm just being logical about the situation. I think we do need to go get somebody. We at least need to look. But maybe Jack Nielsen can. The draft pick may have to step up. Ooh, yeah. But yeah, the draft pick may have to step up because that was concerning. And it at first it didn't concern me that much because I said, yeah, we still got Storm Norton. Then I see the tweet of, yeah, because Storm Norton, one person didn't explain it in full, and the other one basically did. Yes, Caleb McGarry hurt really sucks because Storm Norton just had a foot surgery. Excuse me, when somebody gonna tell me he had ankle surgery? When we gonna know about this? You see what I'm saying? So I know the team keeping a lot of shit tight to the chest. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, A1. That's exactly who we need. And we don't need a bunch of them. We just need one good one. One good. See, now, I hate to go back to this point for real, because it's a while back, but this would be the defense where that one college pick like a Jordan Davis would really solidify shit. And I hate to go back to that because I'm neither here nor there about that. I don't really care either way. But I can say this was when you have to draft that Jordan Davis type of big body. You know what I'm saying? Somebody you know, that's really gonna move that pocket, that real space eater. But like you said, gonna be like Kung Fu Panda. We need a dancing belt. A motherfucker light on their feet. And that's yeah, that's what I'm saying, Winston. But the front of our schedule is the toughest, truthfully. Not saying every game ain't tough, but I ain't gonna count. The league got some shit started with our first few games. They done got some shit started. They want to see straight competition out the Falcons. Man, I know you did, Berto. We were talking about that because that would solidify, you know what I'm saying, that little bit right there because he had to be developed anyway. So you could have just sat him behind Iron Model for a year. That's what I was looking at when I wanted Ty Robinson. Just like the Steelers when they got Yaya Black, and I kept telling people, boy, Yaya Black like 6'7", 6'8", 300 some pounds. So, mm, so that's why I said I don't think they done with this defense. I don't think they done with the defense. I think the defense is really, really, really leaked into our offense, man. I think that they cooking something quietly. Then they add Henderson, and Henderson go out there and get a pick off. They say it's Penix. I don't really know because I couldn't see the quarterback, but I did see the pick. So that let me know he coming there with high flying energy. And see, that's what I'm saying. I didn't even care. I didn't even know that Storm Norton was hurt. I'm thinking Storm Norton good. Man, when he said that, I said, man, ain't this something right here? Ain't this something? But if I know Terry, if I know Terry, Terry is cooking something. Terry ain't just finna take no laying down. Now, one thing about Terry, you get a lot of slack for stuff a coach supposed to get slack back, not a GM, but that's neither here nor there because there will be no Terry slander on none of my what you call it, because all his job is to go get the groceries. Now, if you can't cook, that's your fault. That ain't Terry's fault if you can't cook now. Terry is supposed to shop for you. That's all his job is. Not all, but for the main part, he's just supposed to shop. So I think he may have something in the works because I can't think of his name right now. The guy out of Cleveland, the right tackle out of Cleveland. I say go get him because the last time we went to Cleveland, we got Alex Mack, and that seemed to work out pretty well for us. We went straight to the Super Bowl. Either the year we got Alex Mack or the year after we got Alex Mack, we went to the Super Bowl. I don't remember which one, but when we got him, we went straight to the Super Bowl. Go get that right tackle out of Cleveland. Said we may go to the Super. We may do that anyway, but you get what I'm saying. But I think Nate Ali and that defense and Coach Ulbrich and that defense has instilled something in his team that his team has been missing for a long time. This team been missing that and that dog mentality. I'm gonna be honest, in my mind, we've been missing that dog mentality since D Block. The 2016 year we went to Super Bowl, that defense was cool because they went to the Super Bowl and they was able to do things. But I'm just talking about the attitude wise, attitude projected. The whole league knew about D Block. The whole league knew about D Block because our defense, even though we weren't world beaters, we still did handle our business and we had attitude when we do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I had to give Ulbrich his flower, a couple of them flowers, because I see how the mentality has changed the whole team, everybody in the dark room, in the dark space. So, being that everybody in the dark room, in the dark space, and I ain't even understand it at first until I'm gonna be honest, I understood what they was trying to achieve, but I didn't understand the full dark room till I heard what Michael Penny said about his fight. He said, I don't remember nothing about that fight. I was in a dark place. When he said he was in a dark place, oh, that defense, yeah. Damn, he gonna miss some time. Oh, yeah, true, Winston. True, true, true. If Miami got one down there, they've been dealing with a left-handed quarterback, so you may do want to shop in Miami if they got one there. Yeah, you got to look at that. You definitely do. What going on one time for the fan in the building? My boy, what's going on? We up here talking a little Jeff Ulbrich and his defense and these Falcons, but I really just want to talk about Jeff Ulbrich. Well, I really wanted to make the main feature Jeff Ulbrich because I like what I saw in preseason. I just did. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even I didn't even watch the game for the offense like at all. Like I didn't care nothing about what the offense. Matter of fact, every time the offense was on the field, I walked outside, take a sip of my drink, and you know what I'm saying, hit the czar a couple times. I just want to see the defense. I ain't even the offense good. I'm not really worried about the offense, except for that right tackle position at the moment. But I still know the yes, he do. He do. One time for the fan, he got him locked in. And see, that's what I was saying. His philosophy has leaked into the offense. Now you got the whole team on the same page about a dark room that Nate Ali and the defense and Jeff Ulbrich and the defense talks about a lot. And that's why I just wanted to come on here and give him a few flowers because I see what he's trying to do. I see the vision a little bit. I see the aggressiveness. I see how I knew it was real when our offensive linemen when I Camberto play right tackle. I don't know. Camberto play right tackle. Shit, if he can, boy, suit up. Shit. You know the Falcons like keeping stuff close to the chest, carry, like for real. This one thing I come to learn about my organization in the recent years because the organization at first used to tell you everything, used to know everything that was going on. Now the organization we got, boy, will tell you a straight lie to your face and make you believe it for real. They ain't telling you nothing. They thank you. We ain't telling you shit. For real. I'm talking about for real. And that's what I just that's what I love about our new coaching staff. I'm not gonna lie. I put my trust in Jeff Ulbrich because every time you talk to this man, he's telling you about coaching. He's telling you how he want players to play in what position, how they need to line up, how they need to do this. So just being real honest, I'm bought in. I'm bought in. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm ready to suit up at right tackle myself for real. Like I'm bought in. I really feel like we should be 11-6, 10-7, something like that. I really feel 12-5, but I'm gonna alter my expectations first. So I believe in them. I believe in them. I see where they headed. We gonna go get that dancing bell next year in the draft. I know we going to get that dancing bell next year in the draft. Then they gonna let Anya Marta go because then they gonna have the dancing bell Root and Dorless and Zach Harrison. What were those stupid? What time for the fan? I can throw for 80 though. Went on the run. Oh, y'all silly. Hey, we may have to put Berto at quarterback though. Put Berto at quarterback. Cause they got rid of Emory Jones. All we got is stick man. But yeah, so this was just a little small time, man. Small time to talk about Jeff Ulbrich because I wanted to talk about the defensive coordinator more than the defensive players. What he said now, nah, he's out to Roberto. Oh my god. I don't know. I did. I missed that one. I missed that one. That's what I'm saying, Nando. They out there teaching them how to strip the ball from them too. I saw that. I saw that clip. I definitely saw that clip. They really their defense preparing, and I love to see it. And that's what makes me want to have this conversation today. That's a matter of fact, that is the last video that said none of this with Jimmy Lake. Not an ounce of it. You just seen them going through drills like it was more like they were just going through the motion of the drill versus really the intensity of the drill when Jimmy Lake was here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking about. Now, one thing I will say, I was unfamiliar with Billy Bowman. I knew about X game a little bit, but I went back and watched more film on him. X was a beast. I was unfamiliar with Billy Bowman, but I went back and watched Billy Bowman. Yeah, straight. That's your nickel. That's your nickel. Billy Bowman is your nickel. He damn near got the job if he just keep it locked in. But I'm really liking that Billy Bowman. Like for real, for real. He was a slept on pick. I don't think it's gonna change, Winston. I don't think it's gonna change. I think they're gonna use the preseason more now to try to see if they can find one before they spend some money. I think Jack Nielsen is gonna get a whole lot more reps this game because if the rookie can come in, why not put him in there before we spend some money? Oh, I think the offensive line finna get tested this guy. They really want to see what they got on that O line. Oh, they finna do reps this game here. O line finna get real good reps before they spend some money. Cause that's what I do before I spend money. We finna see what the O line can do this last preseason game, and we still finna make them run what we normally run. Because if we make them run something, we'll make them run a vanilla form of what we normally run. Because if we run something different, then that wouldn't be preparing them for what we need. We need you to run what we run, or vanilla form of it, and that's just real. Even if it's just a vanilla form to it, because we may have to put you in that fight. Matter of fact, you don't remember who we you don't remember when we put who that was? I think that was Jalen Mayfield. Remember when he had to go up against, was it TJ? No, it wasn't TJ White. He had to go up against somebody, and Arthur Smith told him, shit, you gotta get baptized sometime. You gotta get baptized sometime. You don't remember when Arthur Smith said that? Man, I don't know why they won't play the starters in the preseason. Well, I do know to mitigate injuries, like you said, but you know, I wasn't even looking for it anyway because he already said it when he first came in. I wasn't even looking for that because I ain't even want him to upset me. So I didn't even honestly pay attention to even the start. I never thought the starters were gonna play. I didn't even get my hopes up because I remember what he said last year. He wasn't finna change that. I knew he wasn't finna change. I wasn't even finna let him psych me up for that because I did that last year. And he said they ain't gonna play, and I was like, maybe he lying, maybe I let nah, the motherfucker did not motherfucking play. So hell nah, I ain't even put my hopes in that Winston about to start playing. So that's why I said I just wanted to give Jeff Ulbrich a couple of these flowers and sit back and do some more observations of, the coaching staff more so. I'm looking while they examining the preseason people, I'm examining the coaching staff. If we calling timeouts, I'm looking at that during the game this week during Dallas. Because this one of them preseason games that they scream and have playoff implication type shit, even though we know it's just preseason, but you know how the media gonna spin it. Yeah, this game got playoff implication type games, and it may do. I don't know what Dallas gonna do this year. I can't focus on Dallas right now. I'm focused on my dirty birds. So yeah. And with that point, Dell, I'm gonna go on and wrap it up. It's been about an hour, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love, man. I'm gonna do more of these. I'm going to purchase me a podcast setup too, because I'm gonna have to get a table where I can sit in front of the screen. I'm gonna be fancy like uh what you call them, get me some ring lights and stuff. Nah, but for real though, I really enjoy just talking about these Falcons, man, because I really see what's finna happen this season. I really see it. And on that note, until next time, I'm gonna do another pop-up show. I'm gonna let everybody know. All right, y'all have a good day.